Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Tomb Raider, and this movie stars people I'm not really familiar with. Okay, that's not true. Our main star, I keep wanting to say Evangelina Jolie. I don't know why. Alicia Vikander. She plays Lara Croft, and this movie is based off of a video game, and before we get into this movie, there have been two Tomb Raider movies starring, I'm not too sure. I think those movies star Evangelina Jolie. I think I'm right. Hang on 1 second. Yep, I'm right. Now, there have been two Tomb Raider movies before this one, and those movies star Evangelina Jolie, and I have not seen them. Nor have I played any Tomb Raider video game ever, nor have I seen a Let's Play of it or anything at all. I know absolutely nothing about Tomb Raider, and I went to this movie with an open mind, even though I didn't really like any of the trailers for this movie. I was thinking to myself, I'll give it a chance, since I'm willing to see it, and I'll give it a chance that way. That's my way of giving this movie a chance. And I walked out of the movie, and it's fine. Now, before we get through anything, let's go through the plot of the movie. And without giving anything away, let's go through the plot. Now, Alicia Vikander plays Lara Croft in this movie, and he's basically trying to hold up after her dad went missing when she was just like a teenager. And what she does is she's just trying to make a living out of what she does. She basically lives her life delivering pizzas, I believe. And at some point, she realizes maybe her father isn't dead or something. But the point is, at some point later on in the movie, she goes out to find her father, and she meets the character of Lu Ren, played by, how do you pronounce his name? Daniel Wu, where I've never seen in anything before. Lara Croft meets him, and they go off to see if they can find her father, or at least what happened to him. And now we have a movie. Now let's go through the positives, because I like to go through the positives first, and the cons second. Now, my first positive is Alicia Vikander is very good as Lara Croft. I bought her in the role. She brings a lot of how do I put this together? She basically becomes Lara Croft in this movie, and she brings vulnerabilities, and she's actually really good in the role. And I didn't really look on the behind the scenes for this movie. I think she did a lot of stuff to get the role for Lara Croft, and I think she did very good in that regard, and she's good in this movie. That's all you need to know. She's very good in this movie. Everyone else is below her performance-wise. They're either below her and above serviceable. They basically land in that range. And perfect, this is like right around here, and Alicia Vikander's performance, her performance is right around here. A perfect one would be up here, and serviceable is right around here. And everyone else, aside from her, is basically in between my two hands. Does everyone get that? I hope so. I did my best. There's no performance in this movie that's great, but Alicia Vikander's pretty good. So I will stop right there with my performances. With the performances, sorry. And we'll move on to, not the cons, we're still in the positives, my other positives or pros. The first act is the strongest act out of the three. I think it was decent at best. And the reason I thought the first act was the best is because you get to see Lara Croft on how she's holding up after her father's disappearance. And there are some characters in this movie that I found entertaining. When Lara Croft gets to this one character, and she goes to a pawn shop to sell something, and what happens is she is just trying to sell something, and that scene was entertaining with that one character. I don't remember his name, but he was basically working at the pawn shop, and I enjoyed those scenes. Those were supposed to be comedic moments, and I found them entertaining, not funny. I guess I kind of dipped into my negatives, but I'm really wanting to get into my negatives, so I'm just going to get into my negatives right now. I probably should have gotten through more positives, but I think the best way for me to do this review is to dip back and forth between negatives and positives, because I believe that is the best way to review this movie. So, sorry if you wanted me to do positives, then negatives. This is the best I can do to review this movie, the best way my brain can think of. My first negative is that every comedic moment fell flat for me. I know that's going to be subjective, because humor is subjective, and I think I said this maybe at least once before. Humor is very subjective. You either like it or you don't. You either find something funny or you don't. It's completely up to you. But I just didn't find any of them funny. I get the joke, I just didn't laugh. And I found a few scenes entertaining. That doesn't mean I found them funny. And this movie needed more subtlety, because characters just explain things that they don't need to, and that was really ruining the movie for me. And some of the CGI I think could have been better, but aside from that, the special effects work. I like where this movie takes place once we get to the island. I think that's a cool place to have. I like the setting where it's set. I like where the movie's set. That's what I wanted to say. The action sequences in this movie are fine. The villain is fine. I don't find him menacing. I don't find him incredibly bland. He's fine. I get to his motivation, but there's just nothing menacing about him for myself. And when Lara Croft meets one character within like the second act, and when it's just her and this other character that I can't say because that dips into spoiler territory, but when it's just these two characters, the movie works pretty well. That's when the movie is at its best. When it's just these two characters. And there's only like 3 scenes when these characters are together, but the movie works. I'll give them credit. The movie works pretty well. The music in this movie is just... it just feels like forgettable stock action music, and it doesn't really work that well. Another problem I have with this movie is the ending. I don't like the choice they made for the ending. It was completely unnecessary, and it kind of ruined the movie for me. And also, one other thing, this movie feels very reminiscent of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I have a feeling that if this was in the games, then they're probably very inspired by Indiana Jones. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think it's something that I noticed. It's fine. So I've said everything I have to say about Tomb Raider. There's nothing really good in this movie, nor is there anything really bad in this movie. It's just everything's in between those 2 points. And there's nothing incredibly memorable. There's nothing terrible. I'm forgetting everything I really just thought was okay in this movie. And I'm going to give Tomb Raider a C+. It's fine. If you're a fan of the games, then go see this movie. If you're not a fan of the games and you're just a casual viewer, or you've never heard of Lara Croft Tomb Raider, or you haven't seen anything relating to Tomb Raider, you can skip out on this one. There's nothing to get out of it, really. There's my review for Tomb Raider. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Tomb Raider down below. And my social media will be in the description down below. And follow me there for Facebook, Twitter, and the Stardust app. All for you guys to follow me there. That's what they're there for. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation. And I'll see you when I get my next review up. And I think it's going to be Maze Runner The Death Cure. Possibly. Maybe. I don't know when I'm going to do that. But be on the lookout for it, because I'm going to be doing that soon. But thank you for watching and have a great day.